Hello everybody and welcome to a very quick Duckside video. I put out a video not too long ago just introducing a very weird game called Duckside, and in it I was talking about the fact I didn't seem to see anybody else or any enemies of any type. So I wanted to do this video because since then I have had a few things happen. First off, I'd managed to find myself on a PvP server, which I was not expecting because it was an official and it didn't state PvP. So anyone who does get this game, look out for the fact that if it's just a server without PvE written on it, it's a PvP server. So when I logged back in, it said I'd died and I'd been killed by somebody. When I went to the location of my body, because for some reason it wouldn't let me respawn on my nest, it turns out my entire base had been wiped, and I had been killed. All of my items had gone, including my starting axe and pickaxe, and I was back to square one. So that is something to consider. I searched the server list and found an actual official PvE server in Europe, and I have joined that one, and I've started again. And as you're looking at the screen, the base that's across the water from where I am is actually the start of my new base. Now the reason I wanted to do this video is because not only have I since seen other players, other ducks in this situation, I have now also experienced locations where you get shot at by humans. Now I did mention in one of the comments to my friend Volgaz, who was commenting, that I had seen videos where this was happening, but it turns out that there are certain areas where you can find loot crates which have good quality items in them that are protected by humans. Now this is where it becomes a little bit difficult, because the humans all seem to be carrying high-powered rifles, and they are extremely accurate. In fact, they even use shotguns which can shoot you from this kind of distance from where they are at the moment, and it really does hurt. So what happens when you actually die is you drop your items. Even in PvE, anyone else can pick those up. Yep, any other player can pick up your items, even in PvE, so you can end up with nothing. That's happened to me a couple of times. But to be honest, this video is more about the combat itself. The combat is not too bad. So whenever you are using a bow or a crossbow in this situation, or even a firearm, you do go into first person mode, which is quite an interesting change. So melee combat's all done third person, traversal is all done third person, but ranged combat for some reason goes into a first person view. Now once you do manage to kill enemies, they drop these rucksacks, and inside these rucksacks are various items. So there is loot within the game, which is absolutely brilliant, because it was one thing I was worried about, just having stuff found in crates and, you know, building materials. It would be quite dull if that was all you got, but you do find items. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and back up something I said to a comment on my previous video. This feels a lot more like Rust than it does Ark. The whole premise of just wandering around, building a base, looting bodies for pre-existing weapons, ammunition and things like that, it's all very Rust-like. So if you like games like Rust, then you kind of know what to expect, and I think you will find this pretty entertaining. I mean, you can see that I'm really struggling with all of these guys with rifles that can hit me from a very long way away. I have got a bow, and that bow does have drop off, so the arrows do drop quite quickly with a manual bow. With a crossbow, not as much, but with a manual bow they definitely do drop off, and it does mean fighting humans who seem to be able to see you extremely quickly, even though you might be sneaking, which you can sneak as a duck in this game. You might be sneaking, but they can still see you a long way away, and they have ridiculous accuracy. So there is another duck that was helping me. So another player has joined the game, so to speak. Now, I kind of back up what I said last time. It's a quirky game. It's definitely not something that I would replace my normal survival games such as Grounded, Small Land or Ark with. It's got some good ideas. It's got some potential. It does have some fun, and I guess if you're doing raids on these sorts of areas with friends, I can see it would be quite interesting. But I mean, this is a small outpost. I have gone up against a large base, and to be honest, when you go up against a large base, that happens quite a lot. 2 shots with a shotgun, and I'm out of there. Now, as you can see, it takes quite a long time to get back, 1.3 kilometers. So death in this, when you haven't placed your own nest down, is extremely hard. Now, I'm inside a container where the guy's got a shotgun. My bag has fallen inside that container with the guy with the shotgun. So as you can imagine, it's going to be very, very hard to get my equipment back. So it's going to be a case of re-equipping, getting a new bow, trying to pick him off from a distance, and then going in and getting all my old stuff. But such is the way with this type of game. Anyway, I am going to leave the video there. This was just a quick, yes, there is combat, and it's a little brutal. But yeah, do look out for which type of server you join, especially if you're not a PvP player like I'm not, because it really is not that fun to come back to a game after 2 days and find out you have nothing. So, hope you've enjoyed it, hope you found it interesting. If you have, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed previously, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video and of Duckside in general. You all take care. Bye for now.